There's always so much excitement when we have a dog in the studio. Dogs, of course, can be wonderful companions. They can also be a lifeline for people living with post-traumatic stress disorder. Our next guest knows that all too well. Regina's David Reed is an aide-de-camp to the Lieutenant Governor, as well as a veteran and a paramedic. His service dog, Keeper, who's beautiful, helps him get through his days, and they are both here in our studio. Hi, David.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, tell me, just describe Keeper. Tell me a little bit about Keeper.
Well, Keeper's been a lifeline for me. He's just been a godsend. We're 2.5 years into our partnership. April, 2.5 years ago, he came to me, and the second I saw him, I fell in love.
Yeah?
And it's sort of very similar to my wife, too. But, yeah, as soon as I saw him, we were pretty much bonded within 2-3 weeks.
Oh, why is he whimpering a little bit right now?
Probably because I'm a little bit nervous.
Oh, he can sense?
Oh, absolutely. It's he's trained to pick up on cortisol release, so that's stress hormone. And when you're a little bit nervous or
isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
He's feeling your nervousness right now.
Actually, he's smelling my nervousness.
Wow.
So, like when you start sweating in your palms and that sort of thing, he's trained to smell that.
Yeah.
So basically, dogs can smell a tablespoon of sugar in an Olympic-sized swimming pool. So that's how sensitive they are.
What do you do when he whimpers? Do you draw comfort then from, like, as you're petting him right now?
Yeah.
Do you draw comfort from petting him?
Yeah. What happens is once he alerts and makes me do a self-check to make sure that I'm okay, my environment's okay to be, and he's safe, then it just kind of calms me down to say, okay, let's carry on to our next task or whatever we have to do. But within the cortisol release, also oxytocin is released. So that's, smooth muscle relaxant. It's going to lower your blood pressure, your heart rate, all that sort of thing to calm you down.
Yeah.
And with Keeper, he also does 3 other things for me. So he'll turn on the lights.
He turns on the lights.
He'll turn on the lights. He'll open doors, and he is...
And he whistles.
And he whistles, yes.
That's your phone.
Yeah, sorry. And he'll actually scare away the nightmares for you.
Well, tell me a little bit about how he came into your life. How did Keeper come into your life?
Well, in 2014, I was participant and the aide-de-camp for Wounded Warrior Weekend in Slave Lake, Alberta. And at that time, I did not want a dog. I didn't know what dogs did, other than you feed them and you pick up after them. That's what I knew about dogs. Mm-hmm. And through the course of the week, and in between my duties, all I had was these dogs coming and wanting to be petted and everything else. Well, anybody that knows me, my uniform is always pristine, my boots are always polished, everything else. And these dogs wanted to be petted and just, would not leave me alone. Kept triggering on me, the trainers would say. So with that, they said, "Oh, you're getting busted again." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So once it came to like the Lieutenant Governor's Gala and stuff like that, I actually had a dog that was on duty with me that night with her honor. And it just helped me get through the whole night. Hmm. And since I was meeting people that I had served with in the Reserve and Canadian Forces, and it's a very small community. And it was just amazing. life changed for me. Actually, is life altering for
Yeah.
me.
Can you tell me about your PTSD and life before Keeper? How did you, when did you serve, and what did you experience that led to your PTSD?
Yeah, I was a reservist from 10th Field Regiment here in Regina. I was an augmentee for the UNPROFOR United Nations Protection Force in 1993 in Croatia. And once I came back to Canada December 4th, 93, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was. I came back being very bitter, kind of demoralized, I guess, of being truly Canadian. In the fact that, I felt being a soldier was to go and stop bullies and say no to bullies, for one, and two, to make a difference. And looking back, yes, we did do that, and in the role that I was in, we got to do that. So coming back to Canada, it was a very big, difficult transition, because I was actually home, like my home here in Regina, about 72 hours after getting back from Croatia. There's no decompression or anything else like that. So in my quest to make a difference, I guess, for people, I started looking at different options and that sort of thing for careers. And I did a ride out with Regina EMS here. And I got bit by the EMS bug saying, I got to do this. So I put in for my release in 96, 97 and started my EMT program. But everything, it wasn't right. The way I was seeing things, I was hypervigilant to things. The sirens bothered me. The high pace of, go, 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 go. But on the outside, you had to be as calm as anything. And that really, I didn't know how to deal with the adrenaline rushes.
And nightmares.
And nightmares. Nightmares were a huge thing. And then once I progressed from 96 until now as a paramedic, one of the psychologists came to me during my testing last summer, and she goes, "You're a perfect storm." And I said, "Well, what do you mean by that?" She goes, "Well, with your time with the United Nations and your time as a paramedic here, your PTSD level came back at extreme. And this summer I had a really big, difficult time with my PTSD really got bad." Thanks, buddy. And I got formally diagnosed in July this year, and that was opening Pandora's box for me. I finally had a diagnosis. I knew I wasn't crazy, but I really didn't have the tools to manage what I needed to do.
And what difference has Keeper made?
Well, Keeper, he does three things for me. One, he'll sense that cortisol release. So he'll come to me and want to be petted like he's doing now.
Yeah.
And if I kind of ignore him, blow him off, the next thing he's going to do is he's going to jump up and get into my face and make me do a self-check. Another thing of, what are you doing? Get down, because they're generally not allowed to jump and stuff. But if I'm really into something that he's not liking, or I'm really exuding a lot of stress, he'll actually take me by the wrist and lead me out of the room.
Wow. Change the scenery for you.
Yeah.
And now you help others who are training.
Yes.
You're training.
Actually, I'm kind of the boots on the ground individual for Alpha K9 Canada, which actually helped train Keeper for me and a lot of other veterans here in Regina and within Alberta, well, pretty much all over Canada. And yeah, just kind of the struggles that we do with day-to-day dog life and training and sharing experiences and that sort of thing.
Well, thanks so much for coming in. It's been a real pleasure meeting you, and what a beautiful dog. What kind of dog is Keeper?
Keeper's Golden Lab Samoyed, and he's 2.5 years old and just
And your
my
best
best friend.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.